say 3, 2, 1 because I cut all this stuff out anyway. Hey, everybody. It is Fake Fireside Chats with Tracy and guest. My guest today is my good friend, Fran Watson. And what is really cool, before I get into Fran here, what is really cool is we're doing a reverse of Fake Fireside Chats. So instead of me interviewing Fran, which would also be cool, we should do that one day. Okay. Fran's going to interview me. How exciting! It's very exciting. So Fran is a career coach. And I know Fran through something else, through Toastmasters, which is very near and dear to my heart. And Fran has taken that and created a whole new business on career coaching, which is fantastic. So I would like everybody to welcome Fran Watson.
Thanks very much, Tracy.
Nice to have you here. Drinking coffee. We're just chilling. You know, hanging out.
Having a good time.
Just chilling. All right.
But what I would like to talk to you about today is resumes. You recently placed an ad in the paper looking for some part-time help here at Beyond Obedience.
I did indeed.
So what were you expecting when you put the ad out? What kind of resumes were you expecting to see?
I think, this was our first real job posting that we had done. We've gotten help before, just, word of mouth kind of help. So this was kind of our first time collecting in resumes. And I expected to see, a varied response of what it is. This is obviously a kennel. It's not necessarily a career. It can be, it certainly could be, but it's not necessarily a career. So I was expecting, anything from a young person, looking for a first time job kind of thing. And then all the way to the other end, I know that there's lots of retired people that I thought maybe would like to come and hang out with dogs. So we were kind of expecting a variety of different resumes.
Okay. What was the content like when you got the resumes? Did people give a clear content on their resume as to their experience, their skills, and in their cover letters? Like, why did they want this job?
Some. I would say some. There was a lot of confusion. Okay. Now, this was all of them actually were emailed to me.
Okay.
So in some cases, the formatting wasn't right, and the resumes came out all askew, and the name was over here, and something was over here, and I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Some would send me a very clear cover letter, but the interesting thing about it is that you almost have two opportunities to catch my attention, okay, right? Because there was the cover letter, but there was also the email, right? The original email that came in. So some people sent a professionally done cover letter and the resume as two separate attachments. Okay. And others just wrote in the email message their desire to want to have a job, that sort of thing. And I have to admit, for me personally, that first impression, whatever was in the actual message of the email, is what caught my eye. Okay. Right? And because I think it's more personable than the professional cover letter.
So did anybody PDF their resume? Like, did they send a PDF copy of the resume so their formatting stayed in place?
Most of them were. It was just, I think like maybe 2 or 3 of them came out askew, and I personally don't have the computer literacy to figure out how to change that back. So I printed one of them out, and it literally was all down one side, and the name was over here, and I tried to make work of it, but you know what? I'm busy, so so it didn't work.
Yeah, and most employers are busy, that they have limited time to look at the resume, so it is really important that you format your resume in a way that employers can easily read it. Did you find there was anything missing on the resumes? Was there information you were expecting to see that just wasn't there?
I would say the personality aspect of the resume was missing, and a lot of times it was the resume came out, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is where I've worked, these are my references, which is all fine and dandy. But I would like to know, your personality. And that might come through, believe it or not, for us, we looked a lot at hobbies and interests. That was actually a component of the resume that we wanted to know. We wanted to know what your interests were. Because not very many people are going to have a great degree of experience doing a dog kennel environment, right? I mean, some do, but not a lot. So if you're listing all of your jobs and they're not at all related to a kennel, I need to kind of get a feel for who you are otherwise. What are your interests, right? Do you even have a dog? That's something to maybe put on there. I don't know.
I think that was what you had mentioned to me that really caught my attention, was the fact that you're searching through the resume looking for something that says, I have a dog.
I have a dog.
I like dogs. I love dogs.
Exactly.
I have some experience with dogs. And I think you said you only found one that actually had mentioned that they had some relation to a dog?
To a dog, yeah. Yeah, and that was, the thing is the cover letter and the resume was very professionally done. And it was brilliantly done, except that I'm very busy. We live in an attention deficit disorder society now, and I'm just as guilty as anyone else. I don't have time to read a novel about your experience doing something else. You're applying for a kennel job, right? So literally, I was just going, is there a dog? I'm looking for the word dog anywhere, anywhere in that. And then when I finally found it, I was like, oh, there it is, But that's all, from all of that information, dog. What I was looking for. Do you have a dog? Do you like dogs? Yeah.
That's always important if you want to work in a kennel.
It really is. I mean, a lot of people watch this will go, really? Yeah. Yes, it's something that I'd have to ask, for sure.
So was there anything that really surprised you or shocked you in any of the resumes that you received?
I think the biggest shock for me was some of the, as I say, the emails that came in before the resume. I start looking at that the moment that they come in. So those first words that are put out there, and somebody sent me a message that said, I think I might want to work there. And I was like, well, I think I might not want to even bring you in. I mean, I think I might want to work there. I mean, well, don't go out of your way. Like, don't hurt yourself to come and have a job here. It's fine. I mean, if you're not sure, take your time, think it over. It was kind of what I was at. So it's stuff like that maybe you don't think about. I'm sure he probably had put a lot of information in the professional cover letter and the resume, but that first line right there, I didn't even call. I didn't even look at the resume. It was almost offensive to me. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm not even going to continue on with this. Again, very busy, right? So that was one of the
head shakers.
Yeah, where you're just like, I don't know. I might have worded that differently. just putting that out there. I'd have worded that a little differently.
So as an employer, what would you suggest to people who are looking for work with regards to their resume and their cover letters?
With regards to the resume, I would say grammar matters, spelling matters, punctuation matters. I think we're all involved in texting and short forms and LOLs and all of those things. I don't want to see LOL in a resume or a cover letter. I mean, great, you have a sense of humor, I get it. But I think that the care that you put in crafting that written word, that's your entrance in. And I think you have to take the time, maybe know that you want an interview. Maybe
instead of thinking about it.
Get beyond thinking about it. I'm sitting back thinking, kennel might be a good job. Maybe wait till you've actually really sure. You're like, yeah, I think I would love that. I don't know. But I think for me, honestly, the written word, and maybe I'm old school, I don't know if it is, but I really do take a lot of, if you didn't spell check, if you short formed, if you didn't put a period and then capitalize the I mean, stuff like that is important to me. I think it makes a statement.
So saying, I hope you are
yeah.
okay is not good.
Yeah. And yeah, and I think, you know, for me personally, putting a little bit of personality in, you know, finding a way to incorporate personality. Nowadays, when you're applying for a job, there's so many opportunities for you to figure out the job that you're going to. You can kind of get a feel for what kind of personality or what kind of vibe that company is. And if you can put a little bit, if you think your personality matches that, then try to put a bit of personality into that written word. I know it's a little bit more difficult than, you know, the hands-on meeting, but this is your gateway in. And there were so many of those that, you know, I didn't even get past the first, I think I want a job there statement. I didn't even look at the rest. I didn't even open the rest of that.
So would you recommend that people research the company that they want to apply to?
Absolutely. I think, and I mean, nowadays that's easy.
Yes.
Right. I mean, back in the day when, we used to have to like call up and be like, "Hi, I'm just wondering who I like." You know, knowing the name of the interviewer is really good. You know, having that little bit of personality in there instead of saying, you know, "Dear Sir" or "Madam." You know. I mean, you can go, for this company, you can go online. We're online. Our website is on there. We also have a Facebook page. I do lots of video. People, you know my name, right?
Exactly.
You can, you know, feel free to kind of be a little bit more respectful, but personable.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
Super. Thank you so much. This has been very insightful, and I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with me today to talk about resumes and what an employer is looking for.
Well, I appreciate you coming to Fake Fireside Chats.
Thank you.